Hi everyone, I'm Emily Rios. I'm a realtor, but my role goes far beyond buying and selling homes. I specialize in helping families navigate one of the hardest seasons, when an aging loved one can no longer stay in their home safely or comfortably. Before real estate, I worked as an executive in senior living. I wasn't just giving tours or filling out forms. I was leading teams, walking with families, and making decisions in those deeply emotional moments. I sat across from families when mom couldn't live alone anymore, or when dad's health was suddenly declining. I witnessed the stress, guilt, and the heartbreak that came with those conversations. But I also saw something powerful: the peace and relief families felt once they had a plan and the right support system. That experience shaped how I approach my work today. This webinar is about giving you that same clarity, equipping you with tools, resources, and connections so you can honor your loved one and walk this season with confidence and compassion. While I had seen this journey many times as an executive, nothing prepared me for what it was like to live it personally. 5 years ago, my mom was in a life-altering car accident. Overnight, she went from being independent and working to completely disabled. And suddenly, she couldn't live on her own and had to move in with my family. I was completely unprepared for what was next. It was overwhelming. I was juggling work, her care, my own family, and all the emotions I didn't even know how to process. I remember lying awake at night wondering, what do we do next? How do I make the right decision for her and for my family? And the truth is, even with my background in senior living, I still felt lost. I wish somebody could have stepped in and said, here's what's coming. Here are your options, and here's how to protect her dignity in this process. That experience changed me. It gave me a deep empathy for families walking this road, and it's why I do what I do today, not just as a realtor, but as somebody who has lived it personally. When families reach this point, it's not just about logistics. It's about what's going on in your loved one's head. They're often asking themselves, can I afford this? Am I losing my independence? What will happen to the home I raised my family in? And underneath those questions is one of the hardest truths. They worry about being a burden. Acknowledging those fears is the first step in making wise and compassionate choices. And on the family side, I've noticed 3 major needs: the need for clarity, support, and peace of mind. The need for clarity, or rather having a roadmap so that you're not scrambling and in crisis mode. Support, or building a team of trusted professionals, or rather knowing where to turn because no one should have to walk this road alone. Peace of mind, knowing that you did right by mom, and that you honored her and gave her her dignity throughout this entire process. When these 3 things are in place, the path forward feels less overwhelming. I like to simplify this into what I call the 3 pillars of care: financial, physical, and emotional. Let's break each of these down. Financial, understanding the resources, costs of care, and how to wisely protect mom's assets. Physical, or rather evaluating whether the home is still safe and if modifications, downsizing, or even assisted living might be needed. Emotional, the most overlooked and the most important pillar. Supporting both your loved one and your family through grief, change, and transition. And here's the good news. You don't need to be an expert in all 3 of these areas. That's where I come in. As the connector, I bring together the trusted team, financial planners, estate attorneys, senior living specialists, and many others, so that you have a circle of support around your family. This is why I created the Silver Stage Planning Call. This is not about selling you something. It's about your family's unique story. Together, we'll talk about where you are, what challenges you're facing, and what matters most to you. And at the end of that call, you'll walk away with a roadmap, so you're not left scrambling in the crisis. It's about clarity, compassion, and confidence. Thank you for being here. I know this is a heavy topic, and the fact that you showed up means that you care deeply about your family. You've already taken the hardest step, which is in fact showing up. The next step, quite simple. Schedule your Silver Stage Planning Call. Together, we'll make sure your loved one's next chapter is safe, supported, and filled with dignity. You don't have to do this alone. I'd be honored to walk alongside of you.